We are ready.
Good morning, everyone. Once again, welcome to Ramakrishna Vedanta Ashrama, Pittsburgh. We are very grateful to Swami Ishatmananda from Chicago to give us the retreat on the last lectures of teachings of Sri Krishna. And this is our third and final retreat for the day today. Thank you, Maharaj.
So, let us begin remembering Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, because he too is an avatar of Lord Vishnu. So please repeat after me. Sarvo dharma Stapakastam Sarvadharma Sarupakaha Acharyanam Mahacharyo Ramakrishna Yate Namaha
Ramakrishnayate Namaha.
Ramakrishnayate Namaha.
Ramakrishnayate Namaha.
Now the Lord Sri Krishna is advising Uddhava, see, you can learn from the nature. That is also possible. And as an example he is mentioning, see, there was an Avadhuta, and Avadhuta are one type of monk. They don't wear girva, they don't bother about any external thing, but they are completely free from any attachment. They may marry and they may not, they may householder or not. They are completely free people, Jivan Mukta. So they go around happily. So one day, King Yadu, he suddenly noticed a young man, a Brahmin, a qualified Brahmin. Because when he was talking, he was quoting from the scripture, his conversation, it could prove that he is intelligent and educated. He said, you are not earning anything. You are depending on food. If anybody offers you, then only you eat. And you roam around here and there. You don't have any house. So why this? You have quality, you have capacity, you can earn money, you can live a nice, happy life. So why you don't do that? He said, see, I am very, very happy. And I have learned from my gurus. And he used the word in plural, gurus. When the Yadu, naturally the king said, usually people have only one guru, but why you are saying so many gurus? He said, I have chosen gurus from the nature. And I am having that 24 teachers from the nature. Many of you know the story. And very interesting story. And he said, I have learned from earth, air, sky, water, fire, moon, sun, pigeon, a python, sea, moth, elephant, honeybee, honey collector, deer, fish, a dancing lady, a boy, a bird, a maiden girl, arrow maker, snake, spider, and also insect. From all these I have learned. And observing their activities, I have learned and I am now free. So they are my gurus. That is Avadhuta. Very interesting. So he mentioned in that way. Many of you, you must have read that Bengali. When we were children in the school, we used to read that Bengali poem, Akashamay Shikha Dilo Udar Hote Bhaive. Like that, like that. The sky has taught me to become broad-minded, etc. So by that way, from the nature also, we learn. So we can learn. Then once I went to a college in India, and I was asking the students, where from you get education? They told from our teachers, professors. I told where the professors got their education, then maybe get the knowledge. They said maybe from the library, from the books. Where the books got that knowledge, they told books, somebody wrote them. From where he got, so ultimately they could not answer. Actually, knowledge is in the nature. And what is education? According to, I just thought and gave the definition. Education is the combination of 5 actions: observation, discrimination, utilization, preservation, and transmission. These 5 actions together is education. A primitive person will be observing that 2 big branches of a tree colliding and creating fire. He was afraid in the beginning. Then afterwards, he analyzed, observing, not seeing. We see many things, but we don't carefully observe that, see that. And observation means carefully, analytically, you are seeing something. So observation, observing, and then first is observation, then you are analyzing that. Will that be useful for me? Is the fire going to kill me? Or can I use the fire? They analytically, they utilize. Then utilization. They utilize the fire. And you know that in human society, the discovery of fire was the great, great event. So they had fire discovery and they utilized that fire for so many things. Then they didn't forget that knowledge, they preserved it. And after the preservation, they transmitted it. So this is the total 5 action: observation, discrimination, utilization, preservation, and transmission. Total, this is called education. So where from the knowledge comes? From nature. So from everything has come from the nature. This Avadhuta, he learned from all this. I am not going to tell all the 24 because it will take a long time. I'm just going to tell 1 or 2, like the art. Shite Vratam Anya Shiksham. Shite means the Kshetra. Kshetra is the art. Vratam, that I have learned. Anya Shikshan, from the art I have learned not to be disturbed. On the art, so many things are going on, happening. They don't get disturbed on that. So many things are happening all around. Don't get disturbed. One of our President Swamiji, he was admitted in a hospital, Ramakrishna Mission Hospital, our own hospital. And he was having a young sannyasi to look after him, to attend on him. Exactly opposite, next was a poor man's quarter residence. And these people, they were rickshaw puller and like that, the porters. Whole day they will be working very hard, and then evening they come back, they drink a lot, and they'll be quarreling up to midnight, then they go to sleep, like that. And obviously the Swamis, they go to bed little early, and the Shebak, the young Swami who was attending the President Maharaj, he could not sleep till midnight. So naturally people are shouting and he couldn't sleep. One day he said, Swami, let us go back to Belur Math because there's so much of disturbances. The doctors from here can go and attend you over there. At least peace is there, you can sleep. Then the Swami replied, why is the disturbances? I don't feel any disturbance. I go to bed and I sleep. Can't you sleep? Well, how can you sleep because so much of sound is going on? I asked my ear not to listen to those things. They are not talking to us, they are talking among themselves. Why should I have to unnecessarily listen to that? So look at the control. So this, the way, if you can develop, then there is no problem at all. You just enjoy, oh, these things are happening. And this is the way we have to learn. On the earth, so many things are going on happening. But the Mother Earth is bearing everything. So this young man, the Brahmin, he learned it and he was unperturbed, undisturbed with whatever happening all around him and on him too. People are criticizing, sometimes they are joking, that's okay, no problem. I am happy. I am happy if I say to myself, and I am not disturbed by your word, but you are not disturbed at all. Look at it. Then one day, lots of thank you. Wow. The reporter is very
He gets A plus.
yeah. So the one day Lord Buddha went to bake somewhere, and this the person who was supposed to give the alms, he was eating, and he saw the young man. Buddha was a very good looking, very handsome. He was a prince, he was a king. And he told, hey, the young man, why don't you go and earn something for yourself? Why you are begging? And he was going on abusing. I know. You people will come and then observe. Then in the night time will come and he will steal from my. So he was going on abusing Lord Buddha. Then he was quietly standing. When he finished, then the Buddha asked him, sir, suppose you like to give me some gift and I don't want those gifts. Then what will happen? Those gifts? No way. All those gifts will remain with the giver, those who want to donate. All these abusive words that you have used, I am not accepting. It is all yours. So this is the way we can control our mind. And that person, he said, I have learned from the art not to be disturbed. See how we can be happy. Happiness is our goal. Happiness is the ultimate. And if we are constantly reacting with some of the comments with some people, how can we be happy? There are people that will only comment. That one monk, he was lying down, and as a pillow, he took two. There was just leftover was there. Somebody left there. Some bricks were there. So he took two bricks, keeping his head on the brick. He was lying down. Now the village ladies were going through that path to collect water from the pond, from the river. One of them they commented, look at this man. He is a sannyasi, but still he needs a pillow to keep his head on. The aristocracy is still having. That's true. Why should I have this pillow? So he removed those bricks and keeping his hand, folded hand, and keeping the head on that. Then these ladies were coming back. Look at this man. And he thinks that he is a sannyasi. Just I said, and immediately so much anger is there, and he threw that bricks. Now you cannot satisfy anyone, right? Because they are like that. If you are using the brick, they will comment. If you are not using, they will comment. So what to do? So this, you have to understand These will be the people, they are talking like that, but I am not going to be disturbed. Why? I am 100% satisfied with myself and I know I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he taught this through a beautiful story. And he was a great storyteller. And he said there was very ordinary person used to stitch the garments and by that way used to earn. And he used to go on taking the name of Sri Rama, Sri Rama, Sri Rama, and he used to believe everything that happens at the behest of the Lord Sri Rama. So one day after all this work, he finished his dinner and he sat on his the open space in the veranda. He was taking the name of Rama. At that time, some people, they have actually, they were all dacoits. They robbed up some people and they were carrying those loads and it was so heavy. They saw that man sitting over there. They asked, hey, come, help us. He went and started helping them to carry this load. Then the police chased and they were caught and all of us left because he was carrying the load, he was caught and he was in the jail. Next day morning, the whole village came to the court and said that he is the only person in our village who is a religious man. And he never tells lies, he never harms anyone. How come that he will unnecessarily do this? It's something wrong. Please ask him. So the judge asked him, hey, can you please tell me what happened? He went on telling. By the grace of the Rama, I finished my work. By the grace of the Rama, I finished my dinner. By the grace of the Rama, I was sitting and taking the name. By the grace of the Rama, the dacoits came and asked me to carry. So by the grace of the Rama, I was carrying and the police came and arrested me. By the grace of the Rama, I am standing before you. Then the judge understood that he is a very simple person. He said, go. So by that way, if you are depending on Rama or the God, then there is no problem. So he said, I have learned it from the art. And then, Margat na chalet, whatever happened that won't disturb the path of the righteous. Margat na chalet. Marga means the path. Whatever is happening all around, a righteous person is not disturbed by that. So that is the training. From the air, I have learned to be unperturbed in good and bad. The air is flowing, and when it is flowing on the flower garden, it is collecting all good fragrance, and it goes. Some people, they get the good fragrance. Then when the trashes is flowing on the trashes, also get bad the smell. That is also, it is carrying. But the air itself, unperturbed, undisturbed. I have learned it from the air. From the earth I have learned this. From the air I have learned this. They are all my gurus. I am going on. Suppose I am in the company of bad people. From the distance, people may think, oh, he is like this. Maybe, we do not know. Sometimes this happens in a practical problem. Ramakrishna Mission is an institution. We are not individual monk. Individual monk, they don't care about anything. But in the institution, we have to follow the rules of the land. We cannot say no. Now, you know that the Asiatic countries, you have to depend a lot on the government organizations. If you like to do some work like educational work or the health, so government will give some grant. This country also, you can get that. But we don't do any philanthropic work like that way, so we don't need any government grant. But in our country, India, we always depend on the government grant. For that, if a minister, the education minister is visiting, I have to show proper respect to him because he is the person who is sanctioning our grants. And if we get the grant, we can help so many poor people, poor students. But that very moment when we are welcoming that minister, putting the girl and some people saw from distance, oh, Ramakrishna Mission, the monks, they only care for the ministers. See, they are putting the garland on the minister, but they are not putting it on us. So you can imagine every day in the Ramakrishna mission, 10,000, 20,000 people visiting, so many flowers we have to use. We have to put garland to everyone visiting. That is useless. So obviously, we do that not for ourselves, but for the benefit of many. If I go and fold my hand, and if by that way we order is sanctioned, because that man is an egoistic person. If you go and bow down and say, "Sir, please come," his ego is satisfied. By that way, he will give the signature, and the grant will come. With that grant, I can help so many intelligent boys, but poor boys from the poor background. Why not? Be humble. So we are not, for our own personal use, I am doing that. But people don't understand. They misunderstand that. So this is, they're saying, like the air, whether in the company of good or company of bad, if people they are misunderstanding, you should not be disturbed. You know, this is my duty and this is my mission. Let me continue. Unperturbed, undisturbed, they should do it. And from the sky, they're equal to everyone. The sky is equal everywhere. The sky means the space. The inside a small cup, sky is there. And the huge area, sky is there. Sky is present everywhere without any discrimination. A monk also should be, a holy person should be equal everywhere the same way. We are in America now. That this is our country, they are our people, this is our society. We should have to think in that way. And if we constantly think, no, I was in that, and then in the country there was this tree, that tree, this is a bad country. In my place, when birthplace, there are so mango trees. Here, there are no mango trees, bad. Hey, who asked you to come over here? The one gentleman came and he was showing his great love for India. And he told Swamiji, I was here as a student. Now, after spending nearly 30 or 40 years, I am going back to my country. And this is not a good country to live on. Okay? And he told, he came as a student, he studied over here in some university, then he got a job, he earned money, and with that money he has purchased a very good condo in that Nariman Point in Bombay. It's a very posh area. I told you got everything from this country, and at the fag end of your life you are criticizing this country and going, you're not a good person. If you cannot express your gratitude from that society or the place or the people from where you got everything, now you are showing that you are a great Indian. You are not an Indian. Actually, you are a selfish person. But I told all these things to myself. I didn't disclose. Because that would have been a very harsh statement. But I disassociated with that person. Why? Because I never liked that attitude. So if anyone is helping you, you should, and as a monk, our love should be wherever we stay. When some people they ask, so what is your country? This is our country, this is our people, wherever we. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Wherever I am living, though they are our own people. So that we learn from the sky. And he said, and from the water, the cooling effect. A monk should be, or a holy person should be, wherever they go, their behavior, their presence should make other people satisfied. Otherwise, when a holy person comes, everybody on their toe, oh my God, holy person is coming. What will happen? What will happen? That's not holy person. He's creating problem for everyone, everything, constantly frowning and constantly going on shouting. And what is this to a holy person? If a person, holy person, is not giving joy to others through his presence, he is not a holy person at all. A very critical and very aggressive type of person, though wearing the gerua and also having the beard and the long hair and the mark on the forehead, but he is not a holy person because that cooling effect, the loving effect is not there. People, when they come, they have worked somewhere and had a bad time with the boss, and he came to Ashrama for some peace, and then naturally his way of behavior may be a little rough. Why people close the door? Why you don't keep the door open? This is a temple. Like that, he may say. I should not be disturbed by that. I should understand that something has happened in his life. So that is the cooling effect. Where from we learn? Avadhuta said, I learned it from the water. Even if that fire a person is putting into the water, you can understand the water is getting the shock, but it is cooling down that fire. That is the work of the holy people. Maybe these people around, they are criticizing you, behaving roughly, but your presence should always give happiness to them, assurance to the other people. Oh, here is a nice person. I can open up my mind. I can talk to him friendly. That is essential. A holy person, a religious person doesn't mean is a good looking or a very good speaker, very good writer. It doesn't mean anything. Whether he was a student of a great university, doesn't matter anything. A religious person means these qualities. Wherever Sri Ramakrishna went, people were mad with joy. Wherever he went, constantly he is singing and is dancing and talking with people, inspiring people. There's a mirth of joy everywhere. That is the quality of a holy person. And Avadhuta said, I learned it from water. Then from the fire, always equal. If you put something dirty into the fire, it will burn. And if you put some holy thing like the very good wood, it will burn. Fire is equal. It never says anything. A holy person also should be equal to everything. If someone comes and gives only $1 donation, and someone comes write $100,000, but one should be equal to everyone. Oh, he has written a $100,000 check, is it? Let us go and offering these and that. Nothing like that. And God's money for God's work, somebody is giving this, somebody is giving that. But the main thing that he is giving, not to me, to God, for God's work. I should be equal. That is a very, very difficult condition to practice. And if you can do that, you are a holy person. A truly holy person must be equal. So he was going on telling like this, and that one should be very equal to everyone. After narrating about the Avadhuta, Sri Krishna instructed Avadhuta a very important teaching. And be your own teacher. Then Uddhava, sorry, not Avadhuta. Sri Krishna taught the Uddhava, be your own teacher. Now, they were learning from so many things, like the fish is there, and there was a dancing lady. One or two, just I am mentioning in the fish, a bait is hanging. You should know why suddenly there is no other food anywhere, only one food is hanging. But the poor fellow will never think, it will come and it will think, oh, I am so intelligent. I got the food, it will come and bite. Is caught and dead. So when some offering coming, something somebody is telling, one must be very, very careful before accepting it. Otherwise, this is, from our country, from the poor countries, there are agencies, they will, without proper paper, they will simply send you to the foreign countries and your life become hell. Instead, if you are there earning a little money, at least you will be happy over there. But they think, oh, the bet is there. If you go over there, you'll be very happy, you will have the houses, you will have the car. Then if you go and you are suffering. So one must be very careful. If I earn this much money, sitting over here, taking care of my family and getting the company of my own, that is sufficient. By that way, I can live. But if I try over there without knowing properly, then I will suffer, I may suffer, like the fish. Without caring, oh, nowhere, no food, only one food is hanging. Why should I? But it comes, and that is the fish. I should be careful. And the dancing lady, she sells her body. So one day, she was standing to attract the customers. Whole night she was standing in that way, no one came. Then the thought crossed her mind, oh my God, only to survive, to maintain this body, I am doing such a heinous thing and waiting for all the bad character people. If I wait for God, if I pray to God all night like that, I will realize God. The moment the thought crossed in her mind, she gave up that what maximum is going to happen. I will die only. Is this a life that I am living? No. From today, I will wait for God to come, not for the human being. So she started practicing meditation on God, praying to God all night. And the moment you remember God, your mind becomes purified. The moment your mind is purified, God's presence comes over there. And when the God's presence is there in you, everything becomes positive for you. Everything. Obviously. No doubt about it. So that is the reason he learned it. This man, Avadhuta, he was observing that lady, how she is behaving. And from that behavior, he learned so much. He learned from a young lady. She was married. That was the proposition was going on, proposals were going on. She will get married. And suddenly there was no one in her house but her in-laws. They came to visit. And what she will do? She was thinking, suppose I am here, that she was having many bangles. And if I move my hand, that will create sound, and they will know somebody is inside. And I am the only person inside. My parents are not here, nor other senior people. So for that, she removed all the bangles, only one bangle she kept. And this young boy observed that, and he learned, if you have the company of many people, there's a crowd. People going on, discussing, laughing, chatting. You cannot think about God. If you have even two persons together, even then you'll be having the conversation and a wastage of time. Leave alone. The spiritual life means living alone. And sometimes in some of the places it says, move like a rhino. Have you seen rhino, how they move? I have seen in Assam. There the rhinos are there in the jungle. The rhinos never in group, all alone. Never care for anything. The tiger, the elephant, only do look and then they in their own way they go. Everybody is afraid of them because they never care for anything. Live like a rhino. That's why the rishis, they told, and they observed the nature, rishis, the Upanishad, they say, live like a rhino. And alone. Then sometimes we think, oh, how can I survive all alone? In the old age, who is going to see me? Who is going to see you? Somebody will see. Even after marriages, having 2, 3 children, sometimes we see the parents are all alone because the children are settled all over the world. There is no one to see, look after him. Then that is Of the couple, somebody is passed and only one person. Then if you go on crying, what will happen? I know a gentleman over here in America. He lives all alone. He never cares for anything. And he thinks that it's okay. Someday somebody will find me dead and they'll take me. There's no problem for me. Why should I have to take care so much? Believe on God all through. He is going on praying to God and all that. Just recently I visited him. This is the determination. No problem for me. His son is there nearby. He never wait the son will come or not. I'm not at all bothered about that. He said, there is no time for me to think about my son. I have to get up, I have to give puja to Thakur, I have to sit for meditation, I have to take the name of God, then I have to cook food, offer to God and eat that. He is 84 or 85 years old. The man living alone and no problem. And then they were discussing that some old lady passed away. Then he was telling, so we were almost the same age group, 4 of us in this neighborhood. The 2 have passed away, and another 2 are another 2, myself and another lady, but there she is bedridden, and I'm all right. I can walk. Lean and thin body, but constantly live like a rhino. Don't depend on anyone. When we came to this world, we came alone. When we leave this world, we live alone. Why we cry for, though, please come and help me? No, not necessary. Depend on God. Fill your mind, your time with God, thought of God. Go on playing the records and listen to the talks or the bhajans and live like that. God's help will come. Good people will come to you to help you. So that is the way we have to learn all alone, like the single bangle of that lady. She was so clever. She thought, if I am moving my hand, then there are many bangles that will create the sound and they will understand somebody is inside. And if they come, I am alone. And after a few days, I am going to be married to that family. So obviously, they may see me in this condition. So she removed all the bangles slowly and only one bangle. And that was not creating any sound. So live like that. This Avadhuta learned from him. So live like single bangle of that lady's hand. So that is Avadhuta. So then he is telling that to Uddhava, don't worry Uddhava, don't worry about anything, because God is always there. How you can live in this world, practice Swadharma. We will conclude in that. He said, Maya uditeshu abahita sadharneshu madasraya varna asrama kula acharam akatma sadacharit. As per my teaching, oh sorry, can you remove this one? So, as per my teaching, concentrate your mind on me. As per my teaching, I have already told you so many things. So, concentrate your mind on me, on God, on me, and perform your own responsibilities, swadharma, in unattached way, according to your caste. So, the caste means Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Each and every one has his own duty. So when we talk about the caste, everybody frowns and say, oh, that is the bad patch of the Hinduism. No. It's a wonderful way they actually developed the whole society. But we misunderstood and misapplied that system. There are 4 different grades are there. Intellectuals, courageous, and very economical minded, and physically strong, but they need some guidance. These are the 4 different types. So those who are very intelligent, the doctors, the engineers, the researchers, and the teachers, the professors, Brahmin. No question of the birth. This is only according to your capacity. Chatur varnam maya srishtam guna karma vibhavashara. See, Bhagavan, very clear. Guna, your quality, and karma. If you have the quality, if you are intelligent, if you are a scientist, you are researching, you are a Brahmin. Because you are using your brain to do it. And then maybe your brother is a courageous man, strong man. He wants to go and he joins in the army, Kshatriya. Another person, another brother, third brother, he has the capacity to understand where from I will purchase this thing and where I will sell, what profit I will keep. He is a good businessman. And these businessmen also, they help the society a lot. We don't understand that. We just go and pick up something and pay and bring. Who is doing all this? These businessmen. They will be collecting it maybe from far away places like Africa, China, Middle East, and these and that. They will all keep over here for you to go and pick up. And we go and simply we pick it up and we say, oh, we are actually purchasing. They are helping us in exchange of little extra money for their own survival. The business community is also a great help for the human society. And then finally, the working force. The fourth brother, he needs some guidance to work. If you ask him, go and do that, drive the car, and these, that, he'll be able to do. So they gave the name Brahmana, intellectuals, Kshatriya, the military class, then the Vaishya, those who can earn money and that way, economy, and fourth, the Shudra. Now Shudra has become all low caste. Who did it? And the in between the modern age and the old age, a time came, nearly we can say 700, 800 years, a group of Brahmins, they started distorting this. And they said Brahmana means those who are born in Brahmana. No, they are not. The Brahmana is this. So you must perform your duty according to your caste. Suppose you are an armed military, you must be like that. And you are in army, and in the war field, you are going on counting the beads, but because Swamiji told the God's name is good, instead of going for the war, you are sitting in the camp and taking the name of God. No, you cannot do that. One lady came and her mother, a young lady, newly married, with a very young person, and he was in Indian army and an officer. Next day morning, they were living in our guest house. Next morning, this is in Arunachal Pradesh. Next day morning, the mother and the daughter came, and they were not very happy. Look at the son-in-law, and he always goes into the jungle. Today morning, he went to the jungle. I told this infected with the animals, you should not go. Then I told, what is his job? Well, he is an army officer. Naturally, they like to go like that. They are all courageous people. They're not like us. Early morning, get up and go with the Japamala. Because the army people should do. I told before marriage, whether you were knowing that he is in army. Then that young lady told, yes, I like the army people. And now, why you are criticizing him? It is his job. You cannot expect him that he is going with a small bag and purchasing something for you. No, that is not his job. Army is like that type. They must be rough and tough. So this is the way you have to understand. Dharma is different. Brahmana's dharma, calm, composed, quiet, loving, careful. And army are different. Vaishya also should be different. And Shudra. And position. Position means ashrama. There are 4 ashrama. The individual life was divided into 4 parts. One is student's life. Then whatever you have learned that you are utilizing for the benefit of the society. And then retirement life. and then prepare for sannyasa, giving up. Whether we like it or not, we have to die. No, 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 don't talk about death. Death will come, whether you talk or not. So, obviously, if we are taking it in this way, when you are studying, no other thing, only study. Don't talk about the politics, don't talk about the social problems, only study. Other people are there to take care of those things. Student means only study. Why? Because they are going to take up all the positions in the society. If you are not a good doctor, then it's a problem for the human society. If you are not a good engineer, if you are not a good in your own particular position, you are a liability for the society. So don't be a liability, become an asset for the society. So that is the position of a brahmacharya. At a time of brahmacharya, whether he is going to temple or not, it doesn't matter at all. His is study, and he should study and with humbleness. Next come the garhastha, great responsibility. Because the whole human tree, the whole human society, living on those grihasthas, husband and wife, they are generating human society. Their children should be very well trained, well mannered, well behaved. Otherwise, just for the fun, then you give the birth, then you don't take care. That child became some nuisance in the society. Then all the bad karma comes to that parents. Don't think, oh, we are safe. No, it is not like that. So the Garastha, all the students, they are depending on you. Then the Banaprasthi and the sannyasi is depending on you. Also, the society is depending on you. So the husband and wife is a great institution. Marriage is a great institution. But in the name of the modernity, they have forgotten that. They are thinking somehow if we live together, that is sufficient. No, not like that. So Garhastha and then Banaprastha, retirement. And after the retirement, people become immediately old. They were all active. The moment they become retired, oh, now I don't have anything to do, Maharaj, what to do? There is no one, there is no one. Who say? That is the time one should enjoy. Because you have now experience, you have now knowledge, you have now the freedom. So you should go to different places, the holy places, living, having the company of the holy people. And that is the time you should prepare for the next world, next life. You prepared yourself for this world as a brahmacharya, as a student, and you enjoyed this life. Now the next phase is coming, should be ready. So take the name of God, practice meditation, develop all good qualities, try to be someone for whom the world will cry. There is a beautiful sloka, they say, when you came, the Tulsidas is telling, when you, not Kabir, I forgot, when you came in this world, you only cried and everybody laughed. Aisa karmi kar chalo, you perform in such a way so that when you die, you laugh, others they cry. So that is the preparation of the mind, and that you should do. Then the family tradition. Every family has some tradition, follow that. Don't try to break the family tradition. That is very, very important. Every family has a specialty, that family tradition. And social practices. Every society has some practices. They perform in that way. If you go to any society, there are some practices. A time comes in the whole Chicago River, that will be blue. Why? A community that lives, they have come from their own country. Now they live in America. They are all Americans, but they continue to perform that. They'll be mixing the blue color, but not spoiling the color, water, and contaminating the water. That way, that will be whole blue, and this will look so good. People will go and enjoy. The Chinese, and they'll be dressing like a dragon, they will have the dragon dances. Indians, at the time of the Holi, they will be throwing the color and they will be singing and dancing, and there are many other programs are there. So accordingly, you should also practice that, and result, purification of your mind. Purification of your mind. So he is teaching us how to live without the Sri Krishna. The Krishna is living, then how I will live? He said, you can do like that. And then he is concluding that Maya uditeshu abahita sadharmeshu madastraya. Constantly remembering me, the God, and practice and follow your sadharma. When Ramachandra, he was traveling inside the jungle, he met many teachers, great teachers, rishis. In one place, at least 7 or 8 munis, the thinkers, the teachers, they came and met Sri Rama and told Rama, you need not to practice religion. As a Kshatriya, your dharma, not to visit temple, but to look after your subjects. And if you take care of that, whatever the people, the good people are performing, the religious programs, religious practices, you will get the share of that. But you protect those people and you create a congenial atmosphere so that the people can practice their spirituality and you will get the benefit of it. At the end of your life, you will go to Brahma Loka, the last phase from where people go for mukti. So the religious leaders unnecessarily, they go and create problem in the temple. It is not necessary. The political leaders, this is not necessary. This is the Swadharma. Practice the Swadharma. As a householder, you must take care of your house. Everyone should be happy. As a monk, we have another dharma. Dharma palan, dharma shiksha. We should not tell monks should not tell the lies, should not go and mix with the bad characters people, should not involve in all those things, because they are the ideals. In the human life, there is the morality. And the high moral example are the monks, the nuns, the holy people. If they are compromising, then what the society will think, how they can survive. So these are the teachings of the Lord Sri Krishna to Uddhava. And by that way, he mentioned, now let us conclude little quickly. He said, the spiritual life means developing divine qualities. What is the spiritual life? Developing divine qualities. And we think the spiritual life means a little bit of taking the God's name, then some chanting, and if I cannot chant, we will play the record, and somebody else is doing for me, I listen, but that is sufficient. No. Spiritual life means developing some good qualities. I will just list that. It says, Amani, Amatsaro, Daksha, Nirmamo, Dhira Saurida Asatvara Artha Jigyasu Anasuya and Amogha means Amani, free from ego. What are the good qualities? Free from ego. That's the first thing. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, no ego. Second, Amatsaro, free from jealousy. Matsarya means jealousy. We become so jealous. I'm a singer. If somebody else is a singer, I'm jealous. And each and every place that is jealousy. Sometimes it becomes so difficult for us if you are visiting somebody's house and some people, they brought their food and the old lady will come and say, Swamiji, have you taken the dal? I prepared it. Hey, you have not given the dal. I dal that. 1 or 2 spoons because so many items are there. No. 1 bati full. Complete. No. So, because if you are eating from that plate, that I have not cooked, that means you are supporting that lady. When for a small thing, we are so jealous. So jealousy should be free. How I will know that I am progressing in spiritual life? I don't have the ego, but I have the self-confidence. I'm not a jellyfish existence. I'm jellyfish. I'm living like that. I have my personality, but I'm not egoistic. And I don't have any jealousy. Then Daksha is capable. A religious man doesn't mean he doesn't know anything. He must be, whatever he does it perfectly. And very perfectly. That's why Daksha and Nirmama, he's not attached that it is mine and that is yours. No mama iti, that is called Nirmama. Then Dira Sohrida, great love for his own guru and the tradition. That Dira Sohrida, that is necessary. Otherwise, what happens? Then one gentleman, American gentleman came, he told Swami, I am a born Christian. I grew up as a Catholic Christian. Then I practiced Sufism for 8 years. Then I practiced 4 or 5 years as a Buddhist. Now I think I should practice Vedanta. No problem. Practice, there are so many other ways. By that way, you can spend your whole life. But actually, he's not going to gain anything. Why? You are constantly changing your ideals and not deepening into that thing. So that's a Dira Sohrida. Better to know, no problem. But one thing you should stick to and deep into that. And then Asattara, not eager to gain name and fame. Just 2-3 months or 2-3 years he has joined, and they will go on writing books and articles and not only that, it's no problem if they're writing, but they will send it to us, and then they'll be, please read and comment. That means comment means you have to read that. I have no problem if you are writing. And if you are presenting, that is also no problem, big library, you can keep it. But if you are asking for me to comment on that, that means I have to go through that book. Who asked you to write anyway? So that is also there, asattara. One should be very careful. Swami Bhuteshanandaji, you know that he was one of the presidents of our order. He was very funny way and was a great scholar, Bhuteshanandaji. And a wonderful personality. But he used to tell things in a very funny way. That someone told Maharaj, you know the scriptures so well, and why don't you write the commentary on some books? He said, you know that my legs are paining all the time. I cannot walk properly. No, I'm asking you to write. That is the problem. After writing, I have to go for selling the book. And maybe I have to go on explaining. Otherwise, the publisher, they will say, you have asked us to publish and nobody is purchasing. So I have to be a good salesman also to sell my books. That's why I don't write. So if you like, you do. I'm not going to write. So this is the way, they are not asattva, not eager for the name and fame, artha jigyashu, but always curious to understand the subtle points of the spirituality. Anasuya, having no negative feeling, always positive. If somebody is criticizing, even then he will say, must be I did something wrong. That's why he is criticizing. I should be more perfect so that no one can put finger on me. So anasuya, amoghabhak. Unnecessarily, they will never speak. So they'll be calm and composed and quiet. So these are the. Now looking back, how to practice religion without Bhagavan Sri Krishna? Bhagavan Sri Krishna gave the hint to Uddhava, through Uddhava to us. First, O Uddhava, see me in every being and act accordingly. Pashyan mat atmanam vishwam. If you see me in every being, then obviously you will be respectful for everything. You see God in everything. And by that way, constantly thinking of God, your mind will be purified. Second, he said, one can be free by one's own effort. Samudharanti hi atmanam, urdhare atmana atmanam. Sometimes we make mistake. That is okay. The moment we decide that I am going to overcome that, I have to go on telling me, I am going to overcome that, I am going to overcome that, and generate the power within. Urdhare atmana atmanam. Atmana means mind, and you have to save your mind through your mind. And you have to make your mind your own friend, not your enemy. So that he said, and then he said, be intelligent and learn from the nature as the Avaduta did. And fourth, he said, well, just by performing one's own responsibility, hereditary you have received, so dharmeshu madasrayaha. Whatever the responsibility you have got, that you should perform depending on me. It means remembering me constantly. And fifth, he says, if you think yourself a true seeker of God, you must obey your Guru's instructions and practice yama and niyama. You will get liberation. What is the yama? Practice truthfulness, satya, and non-stealing, asteya. Then brahmacharya and aparigraha. Do not accept excess thing, unnecessary. It is not necessary. The other day, I saw one advertisement. One lady, she was very angry with her husband. Why? There is an invitation, and I don't have good dress, good shadi, as an Indian lady, a good shadi to wear. How can I go? Then her husband told, okay, let me go and get a good shadi for you. Then after some time she came back with a new shadi and gave it to her. She told, well, this is a good shadi. Then he commented, I got it from your almarya. It was already there. So like that way, it was already there, the shadi was there, and then she was thinking. So this you have to understand that aparigraha is not necessary. Taking unnecessarily extra things. This is sufficient. So this is called the fast, the yama. And what is niyama? Niyama is the different. They say shaucha means cleanliness, santosha containment. Whatever you get, you are very happy. Tapa, austerity. What is the austerity? Your mind provokes you to do something bad. And you control, going on controlling. No, I won't do. That's called tapa, tapasya. Swadhyaya. And that is possible every day if you are studying the scripture. Because you need the feedback. Otherwise, how can you fight with the nature? And Ishvara Pranidhana. And that is yama and niyama. Thank you, friends. By this way, if we practice, these are called practical way to understand God. And what will happen? We ourselves will be so happy, and our presence will make others also happy. That is the ultimate goal of all religion. Let us say Shanti 3 times and we conclude. And of course, if you have some question, up to 1 o'clock, right?
Sure. Yeah, up to 1 hour, about 15 minutes.
Another 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Please ask question if you have, and then we'll.
Maharaj, so I understand.
And So what is what you are confused?
Oh, okay, Hari said no, so there's no. Okay, shout.
So, I understand, concentrating on the God, the importance of that, being good to the people, and that is good. As a mother, also, I'm also asking a question, like, you always want the
Your children.
children to be happy, and they are going in the right direction. And how that spiritual life, would that help the child who, or this, uh, who's not doing so well or something like that? Now, would that be considered as selfish thought, like you're praying,
I got you. There is actually, as a mother, you like to pray to God for the betterment of your children, right?
right,
This is not selfishness, it is your sadharma. As a mother, this is obviously that you should pray for your children. And to whom you will pray? To God only. So you are trying your best to guide your children so that they grow properly and then enjoy their own life. But as a children, they don't understand what is good and what is bad for them. So it is the seniors only, because they have already passed through that, they have crossed that paths. So they guide the children, and when they're guiding, sometimes they are a little harsh to them, and maybe little sometimes because they are not listening properly. So, and then constantly praying to the God, please help my children to grow properly. No, this is not selfish. At least I think that is not selfish prayer. That is genuine mother's prayer, and that is your, as a mother, that is your shadharma. You must do that. Now a teacher, when he or she sees that the student is not listening properly, it is his or her shadharma to rectify the student. If you know, I am not going to find fault with anyone, because no, that is his duty, or her duty as a teacher, to rectify that. It is not finding faults. Finding faults are completely different, but it is rectifying the weaknesses of the students so that they can become good for their own benefit. Thank you. Any other question? No? It's okay. So we will add Shanti 3 times and we will conclude. Om Shanti. Now repeat after me, so that together you can do it. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
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 Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Tat Sat.
Tatsat.
Sri Ramakrishna.
Sri Ramakrishna.
Arpanamastu.
Arpanamastu.
So whatever we do, we offer at the feet of God. As because we were discussing the holy thing, obviously good result will come, but we don't want that. We like to give it to God, offer it to God. But it is selfish thing. No? If you give good thing to God, 10 times more comes back to us. So that's why we offer it to God, any good thing. But the problem is the bad. If you do something bad and that if you offer, 10 times bad will come back. So that's to be careful. And can you tell why 3 times Shanti? We told it many times. You can say, raise your hand. Why 3 times Shanti? No, raise your hand. Okay. Anyone else? You know? Hmm?
I can try. So first for maybe for yourself, then second is for the surrounding, third is for the whole world.
Yeah, almost. The one is, and yes,
आध्यात्मिक आदिभूतिक आदि दैविक
this is the terminology that is Adi Daivik. Daiva means the nature. So if you put the finger like this, that is Daiva, nature, or Adi Daivik. Then Adi Bhauta. Bhuta means the beings. So Adi Bhautik and Adhyatmik. It goes back to yourself. Adhyatmik means yours. Maybe your health, maybe your mind, that goes wrong. So you wanted to do something good, you could not do that because of your health. So we have to pray to God, oh God, the nature should be favorable because we are going to perform something good. All beings should be friendly to us because we are going to do something good. And my body and mind also should be cooperating with me so that I can attain this program. These are the three. Shanti, Shanti and Shanti. Thank you.
Let us take this opportunity to thank Swami. Let us take this opportunity to thank Swami Ishatmananda Ji Maharaj for visiting us, to continue to the annual retreats for us, and for your teachings and your presence, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
After lunch, I will go to Lafayette. I don't know